Okay, now that the meat is starting to cook, we will take the lid off, put it to the side, take our spoon, and start chopping up the meat. Now this is 1 pound of ground beef. You can use ground chicken, ground turkey. In fact, I made tacos on channel 8, no, I'm sorry, channel 6, turkey tacos. We're cooking in the kitchen with Audrey, or in the morning with Audrey. And on channel 8, we did Jeff Zevely making eggplant parmesan. And then if you do channel 7 with Greg Bledsoe, you'll see the man with 82 children, because I was a foster father and I raised 82 children. For it to be 70-30, I hear a lot of oil. So at this point, because I like my seasoning cooked into the meat instead of putting it on towards the end, we're gonna go ahead and put the packet of seasoning on. And you know, it's better if you continue the same, go 12, 3, 6, and 9, and then in the center. Then we're going to take the spoon and go back to stirring up. Now, if you don't know your stove, you know, sometimes being blind, you can almost envision where everything is. But if you don't know it, always keep your handle turned outwards. You don't ever want it towards you, because if you hit it the wrong way, all that hot food is gonna come flying on you. So keep your handle outward. And you know, Princess House, they use a good stainless steel to make the pots and pans, because if you use the Teflon and you scrape it, that is poisonous when it starts to unravel, and cancerous. So that's how they make their durable pans. And of course, when you're stirring and chopping up the meat, you want to leave it alone so it can cook. And we will put the lid back on. And remember, these are tacos a la Marissa. And guess who's videotaping? None other than Marissa. Say hi, Marissa.
Hello, everyone.
Now over here, when I was a foster parent and used to make dinner, we would have tacos made. I bought this from, I think, Tupperware years ago. And so we have a position for the lettuce, tomato, and cheese. I'll just take the taco shells out and put them in their slots. It calls for 6, but I think we're just gonna do 4. I mean, there's a slot for 6. But since we're not making it for the boys anymore, we're just gonna use 4. Then we'll put the rest in a Ziploc bag until the next time. And let me tell you, so the nurses, I had a quadruple bypass. I thought it was, for some reason I was having chest pains, but it didn't feel like a heart attack. So I said, oh, I need to go to the hospital to have it checked out. And turns out I was getting ready to have a massive heart attack. I guess my troponin was up to 9.0, and most people's troponin calculates at 0.0 and then a valued number. So I was all the way up to 9. Had I ignored the pain and went to sleep, I would have had a massive heart attack. So November the 7th, I went into the hospital. I did not get out until December 26th. When they did the quadruple bypass, they had me rehabilitated and everything. So November 30th, I was on my way home. But the guy that was in the room next, in the bed next to mine, had COVID. So he gave me his COVID. Just as I was signing the papers to go home, they said, oh, we need to test you too. I had to sit down and wait for the test to be finished. And then they came back and said, oh, you have COVID. So they moved us both to quarantine. And I stayed an extra 26 days. I must have been asymptomatic because I did not feel anything other than having to do this oxygen when I got out. Now, the thing is, we don't know for definitely sure if the oxygen is part of the COVID or part of my heart healing from the bypass, or both. So until I stop saturating at 88 and stay above 95-ish, I'll be on oxygen. Because you know what? A lot of people don't want to wear their oxygen, and that's, if your organs do not get the right amount of oxygen, they will start to fail. And Lord knows I do not need any more organ failures, because I have kidney failure and heart failure. So that's why I wear my oxygen. And I have it under the shirt so that the heat won't burn the plastic. Normally I cook at the back. Ooh, this smells good. I'm gonna have to use a lot of your recipes, Marissa. What you thinking about? It does. I love the way it smells. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, because we're blind, we really don't know what the meat looks like, but I can tell by the way it feels that it's still not done. How's it looking, Marissa?
Okay, you gotta get that corner right there.
No, I mean, how's the meat looking?
Oh, it's browning. It's still got a ways to go. You still
Yeah,
gotta
see,
cut.
I can tell by
You're
the
right
way
about
it
that.
feels. And again, remember, start at 12 o'clock, fold over, go to 3 o'clock, fold over, go to 6 o'clock, fold over, go to 9 o'clock, fold over, chop up the middle, spread it all around. Yeah, I kind of let it stay in that corner you were talking about, because I tell when I put the seasoning in, it didn't mix in. It was kind of stuck to the pan, so I wanted the oil from the meat to kind of lift it up.
Okay.
Miss Know-It-All. Look, there's a secret to my madness. I should have got a more sturdier spoon. So we are going to put the lid on again. And what's another story I could tell you about Miss Imani? So she didn't have any heat or water downstairs, but upstairs she had water. So I told her, since I grew up in Mississippi, make sure you trickle the faucet with a little flow of water so it doesn't freeze or bust your pipes. And then when this is over, check and see what insulating them will cost. And you know what she had the audacity to ask me, Marissa?
What?
She asked, why would she want to do that? I said, because it's cheaper to insulate the pipes rather than fix floors or ceiling that cave in from pipes bursting. She said, oh yeah, you know, city folks, they don't know how to live in the country. So, and not to try to laugh at what's going on with people in Texas, but she is comical, let me tell you. But we all love her dearly out here. But she needed a change of scenery. She even retired, I think 6 months early from teaching to go live back east. So, but she comes out here a lot. Now we just have to wait for Corona to be finished so that she can come visit again. And then, you have any new things going on in your life, sister?
No, not at the moment.
No.
Just working, trying to stay safe, out the way, wear my mask.
Exactly. Make sure you wear your mask and gloves whenever possible. And although they're saying things are opening back up, put your mask on, even double mask. Put those gloves on, wash your hands, sanitize them, and Lysol, bleach, pine salt. Just clean, clean, clean.
And keep your distance.
Keep your distance. Social distancing, yes. 6 feet away. Wow. You hear it sizzling?
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to eat. Are you gonna try some with me?
I think I'll try some. It's my recipe. I mean, I should, right?
Yeah, make sure I did it justice, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, now see, that sounds good. So we blind people have to go by sound sometimes, and that really sounds good. So, and the texture feels even better.
So what's the texture should feel like for people who aren't familiar?
Oh, good question. So it should be solid and a little grainy, if you understand, like chopped up grainy. But when it's raw, it is it's not sizzling like this because it's still warming it up to cook. But it feels, that one doesn't feel so good, so I would say that one must still be pinkish. You kind of know what ground beef feels like when you're gonna make a hamburger patty. So you don't want it to have that type of feel to it. You want it to, one, feel like it's easy to move around and maneuver. So if you're still having difficulties, not just because it's still a full patty, but because you're moving it around like it's a solid piece of meat. So you want it to be loose. And now that the sizzling has stopped, you might want to put it all towards the center and let it cook for a few minutes. How is it looking?
Looks good. Looks well done.
It looks done?
Yes, it does.
All righty. So then we'll just turn the fire off. It smells so good. Oh my God. Now it's up to you if you want to drain your meat. I prefer to drain because I do not like oily stuff. So what I'm doing now, for those of you who can't see, I've taken the meat, I've taken the pasta strainer or colander, and I'm putting the meat in it. So it can drain into the skillet. You know, a lot of people like to drain this type of stuff over the sink, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to clog the sink up, because when oil gets cold, it clunks. I'm chopping it up. And whatever is left over, because I cut up lettuce and tomatoes, we can make a taco salad. So what we will do is take a plate, put it on top, and then our two holes that are left. So if you don't have this contraption to put tacos in, bowls where everything is just fine. And then so let's wrong drawer. And remember, I am still unpacking. I have not found my silverware yet. So, in the holder, so it doesn't have It's just a chaotic mess in there. And, you know, because of dust mites, I rinse everything. So, the gloves. Uh-oh, where did we put the, oh, there we go. We are going to make a taco. I can't find the silverware for the lettuce, so we'll have to, oops, pick it out ourselves. Oh, good Lord. You know, when I was sighted, I could just slip on some gloves. Now that I can't see, it's a work. Maybe because I
Hands
turn
being
it
wet
around.
too is not gonna help.
I'm waiting to see that new Eddie Murphy movie Coming to America. Have you seen the previews yet?
I have.
What about the previews to Lifetime's Mahalia Jackson? You know who Mahalia Jackson is?
No, I do not.
Oh, she was a real she was a gospel singer back in the 20s and 30s. Watched this movie called Imitation of Life, and the woman who played this black maid's daughter could pass for white, but she always renounced her mother. And when her mother died, she goes flying behind the casket. I'm sorry, Mama. I'm sorry. And then Mahalia Jackson sings, I'm going home to see my father.
Oh.
You know, we just gonna make do how it is. In fact, once we take the spoon, take 1 or 2 handfuls of ground beef, then with your hand, the lettuce inside. Now, what type of person are you? Do you put your tomatoes on first or your cheese? Oops.
Cheese.
Me too. And then the tomatoes I put at the end. You might have to use your hand to guide where it goes. And voila, there's the taco. So we have ground beef, lettuce, cheese, and tomato, and taco sauce. Hallelujah. So thank you for tuning in with us, and hope to see you soon.